I'm Debbie.
And I'm Allison.
And we're the Poltergals. Spooky. Hi, I'm Debbie.
And I'm Allison.
And we're the Poltergals.
Are we?
Yes, we are. And today we actually have a Polter Pal. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Mario. I'm a videographer and photographer and marketing intern here at Triple N.
Woo!
I was going to say, no, you're not. You're an intern.
You're our intern.
There you go. You actually added intern. I'm happy now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we have you on today, and you're going to talk about some of your haunted experiences first.
Yeah.
So you have had a few experiences. Tell us about those.
Back at our house, we all lived under one roof with my family, and it's an old house, creaky, we got the dark, spooky basement.
Standard.
It was all over the place.
Basic, yeah.
It didn't help that my family members kind of like meddled with the
Ooh.
all the scary stuff, cards and the
Ooh, tell us about that.
And typical Mexican family says no.
stuff. They always mess with the dark stuff,
They really do.
It's like, no, I don't believe in any of that. But then they're the first ones to go get a palm reading, and I'm like, ma'am.
What do
Yeah.
they burn? What did they burn? They burn like
Sage.
on the
or-
ground, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
Sage
most of the things I know from like spirits and culture. So I grew up in a heavy Hispanic area. Of course, I'm not Hispanic. I'm white. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a whitey over here. Cochina gringa. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. What?
Nasty white girl.
I'm a
Allison doesn't know how to speak Spanish.
You don't?
No, at all. She knows
it's
nothing. I know more than her. But anyway, I grew up in a heavily Hispanic area. And so, of course, like one of the main things is painting your house like bright colors because it wards off evil spirits, putting rosemary at your front door. So a lot of them come from Hispanic culture. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, have you seen those greenhouses or the purple or pink houses?
It's to ward off spirits.
Yeah.
Did you not know that, Allison?
No.
You literally do the research for haunted places, and you don't know about
Have
painting.
you not seen my house? I grew up in a very white people house.
I grew up in a trailer house.
Like, my mom still lives in the same house I was brought to 25 years ago.
That's wild.
You have more seasoning than she does.
I know. Gosh. That's why she's a coconut. But anyway, so tell us about your experiences.
The first few experiences we've had before we started having like investigation happen in our house was like there were times where my cousins like this toys would go off in the middle of the night, like at
Oof.
3 a.m. for some reason, 2 and 3 a.m.
The witching hour.
Yeah.
You'd hear like he used to have like this police bike toy, and you hear it go off in the middle of the night. You're like wee woo, like in the middle of the night.
That reminds me of like that SpongeBob episode where he's
Yeah.
like, and it's like, wee woo, wee woo. Thank you. Finally, somebody that understands my references. Allison, I think I have a new co-host. I'm sorry.
It's too bad.
You didn't watch SpongeBob growing up?
No,
I guess
she was too white.
Oh right, I forgot.
I guess you have a new co-host for New Waco.
Yeah.
But it's Poltergals.
Oh, gal, sorry.
Oh dang.
I don't know what you identify as. I'm sorry. You
I'm
didn't
a
give us
he,
your
him.
pronouns.
He,
Okay,
him.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry.
So it would be
Porter.
polter theys, polter thems.
Yep.
I mean, or it could just be polter pals. Anyway,
Pals.
it's fine. So we got some spooky toys going off in the middle of the witching
Yep.
hour. We got wee woo wee woo.
Wee woo. And I remember we had like this Xbox at the time. I don't know if you know about the Xboxes and the sensors, right?
Like the red ring of
No
death and stuff.
way.
We would play Just Dance. You know Just Dance, right?
Oh, like the Xbox Connect.
And then like it would like at the end of the game it would give you like a video recap with like a little filter on your face like a panda bear.
Whoa, yeah.
And then we'd see the recap and there would be like a panda bear face like moving in the corner.
No,
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps. No.
And then like we'd go look in the sensor stuff and you'd see like a little figure in the corner of the room.
Whoa.
It'd creep the heck out of us.
Wow.
I think we stopped playing with that game afterwards.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would too.
we did not mess with that.
Me.
Wow, that's a little terrifying. Do you know any of the history of your house?
I think they did a paranormal investigation or something like that, and I think they found like some little kid there. Some like they said that they like came in contact with some kid like I think he was around 7 or 8 years old. And some old lady.
Billy or Sally.
Poor Billy.
So
Poor
we have a
Sally.
running thing that anytime there's a child ghost that's unidentified, we call it either Billy for a boy or Sally for a girl. So depending on whatever
Could
time
call
the
the
child.
grandma Sally.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
Maybe.
old lady. I don't know. Have we ever had a grandma ghost? That
We've
a
had
gilf?
I don't think so. We've had middle-aged people blasted from windows,
Yeah,
jumping off of windows.
yeah. Of course, we have the woman in white, which is
Yeah.
always just the lady wearing white, and we do not talk about it. So anytime there's like a story where it says a woman in white, we like roast them, and we're like, "How dare you?" So we're like, "Why is it always a woman in white? Why is it never like a woman in eggshell? Why is it
Yeah.
never a woman in like why does it always have to be the woman in white?"
There's
We told a story once of like a woman in a red dress. We were like, "Wow, so much better than woman
I
in
guess
white."
because there's a stereotype with ghosts always being white.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. I mean, I guess it's just because like they're transparent or whatever, so like the light spectrum doesn't affect them.
Hi.
Allison, what's your hot take?
We may or may not have an episode that has another woman in white.
Right now, the one we're actually gonna cover.
I don't think it's this one.
Oh,
but
okay, coming soon. Stay on the lookout.
You should like stay the night here. I want to like.
Oh
just
yeah,
wandering
should we
the
do
campus.
Should we do a?
We should do
I'll sleep
Old
on the
Road.
couch right here.
We should do Old Road because apparently that one's super.
It's haunted by Tom Wilson, who we have to pray to get our Wi-Fi from.
Exactly. So we got to go make sure Tom Wilson's okay.
Yeah.
And he's Gucci with TMC.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you bring Tom Wilson?
We just pray to him. We say, "Thank you, Tom Wilson.
You don't
Please give us Wi-Fi."
You don't like get a blood sacrifice or something.
No, we just have a full altar to him, like a huge picture of his
giant-
body, his head, a headshot, like covered in a gold frame.
Fun fact.
It's like kind of ominous.
Fun fact: if you Google him, that exact picture pulls up on the internet.
Interesting, but yeah, that's probably why we have that picture because it was probably like one of the only pictures because this was like back in the day.
No, like it's in like the picture of it in Rogue. Like you
Oh.
can see the wall
Oh.
of Rogue.
Okay, so we'll Google it so you can see.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's Tom Wilson. That's just the ghost that haunts the studio. Not really though. It's probably not actually Tom Wilson. I'm sure he has a lot more cooler places to haunt than just Waco, Texas, where
There's
he grew
nothing
up
cool
in.
here. We can go haunt the what is it, the Trip and Joanna?
No. Okay. Well, also you said you heard baby feet on your ceiling, so tell us about that.
Yeah, like I remember one time we woke up, like we just heard like footsteps and stuff, and we went to the kitchen and there was these little, like it looked like baby footsteps, but they were on the ceiling, and we were confused because we didn't know how that happened because there was no babies at the house. We were all like maybe around 8 or 9 at the time, and it was just really weird. Like how could we get those on the ceiling? Like they thought we were just pranking them,
Wow.
but there were like literal footprints on the ceiling.
Whoa, that's wild. Allison, that's scary. Quit slurping over there.
I'm sorry, Slurperson over here. I'm so interested.
But yeah, so what is your overall view on ghosts? Like, how do you rationalize them?
In my culture, we've always believed that ghosts are just people who haven't moved on from the ground or from the land of the living.
And what culture is that? Is that the gringo culture? Is that the African American culture? Is that the native culture? I don't know.
Catholic culture, I guess.
Catholic.
I was gonna okay, just making sure because maybe it's the cow culture.
The cow culture.
I don't know.
Allison is also Catholic.
Yes,
so.
I was very much raised both in the Catholic and Baptist world.
I can
So-
see how that would collide,
Yeah, just a little, and you can very much see it in my religion, hence
Yeah.
the tattoos, and yeah.
Yeah, we've always believed that the spirits that wander the land of the living is because they were scared to go to the light before they died, and they decided to stay here.
Also, I'm very, very sorry for my sailor's mouth in case anything spills.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I already signed a waiver that
Yeah.
says I don't care.
True. True.
You're an intern and a high school student, so we need to behave. Anyway, well, thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Now, we're not going to talk about anything about that. We're actually going to talk about Beijing, China.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. So today we're going to be talking about the Forbidden City.
Yep.
So the way this normally works is Allison will get into the history, and then later on, I will get into hauntings.
I'm so sorry. It's about to get real boring real fast.
Yeah.
I like
Allison-
history.
Yeah, if you like history, then we'll be in for it.
Yikes.
Okay, Allison, go.
Yikes.
Or should I say ghost?
You know what? We're done right now. Catch you later. That was a
Episode
great
canceled.
episode.
Thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure. Bye.
Yep, I'm leaving. My Uber's here.
My Uber's here.
Oh, no.
Okay, Allison, begin. Pause for dramatic effect.
So the Forbidden City is a large...
I said the word for you to practice. Say it. Say it how I say it. How I say it. Now I'm coming out with the country accent. Say it how I say it.
precinct of
Precinct.
red walls and yellow glazed roof tiles located at the heart of China's capital, Beijing.
Bossing Say. No one talks about Bossing Say. You mean Beijing? Oh, sorry. Wrong show. Have you ever seen Avatar?
No.
She
You're
doesn't care.
uncultured.
I know. Uncultured, doesn't know SpongeBob, doesn't know Avatar the Last Airbender.
SpongeBob. I'm sorry. You have a little brother and sister that I guess you understand, but
Allison, you're invited to Lake Laogai. What is it, Laogai?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there is no Lake Laogai. What do you mean? Okay, anyway, Allison, continue with Beijing.
as the name suggests, this is a micro city in its own right, measuring about 961 meters in length and 750 meters in width. Yikes. The Forbidden City is composed of 90 palace compounds, including 98 buildings, and surrounded by a moat as wide as 52 meters.
Ooh, wow, a moat. I wonder if there's alligators in that moat. Maybe it's a ghost moat. It's a moat of ghosts. Yeah? No, Allison said no. Sorry, my bad. Continue.
Yikes. The Forbidden City was a political and ritual center for China for over 500 years and its completion in 1420. The Forbidden City was home of 24 emperors, their families, servants, and servants. I don't know
Wow.
why I said and twice, as if there's more to come. During the Ming
Dynasty.
and Queen, I don't know. I
No,
don't speak
I think you said it
China.
right. Yeah.
Start with a K,
Dynasties.
a Q.
That's Q.
Q.
Yeah.
Q.
Ming and Queen. King? I think
I
it's
don't
King. That sounds
I think
right.
it's King, right?
King.
Yeah.
You would think it would be King.
Yeah. That sounds
I'm so
about
sorry
right.
to whoever speaks Chinese.
We don't have. Oh, wait. We should have had a Jeff on this episode.
Jeff isn't here.
Does he even know
anymore.
Chinese? Wait, what is he? I feel bad.
Yes.
No, he's Chinese. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I was not being racist. I promise.
He does.
Okay.
That was his first language.
Oh, good. Okay.
So,
Anyway.
the last occupant, who was the last emperor of Imperial China, was expelled in 1925 when the precinct was transformed into a museum.
Ooh, cool.
Although it is no longer an imperial precinct, it remains one of the most important cultural heritage sites and most visited museum in the People's Republic of China, with an average of 80,000 visitors every day.
Wow, that's a lot.
Too many.
That's a lot of people.
That's
80,000.
80,000.
That's like that's bigger population. That's almost the amount of population in Waco, Texas.
No, Waco was like 100 and something, right?
100 and like
I think it's like 125 or
40,
something.
I think.
Okay.
Something 140.
Something
I
like
think
that.
it's like close to 150 now.
Yeah, that's close
But-
enough.
Yeah. Too many.
Too many people.
Too many people. The construction of the Forbidden City was the result of a scandalous plot by Zhu Dai. Yep, Zhu Dai.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Zhu V Mama. The fourth son of the Ming Dynasty's founder. That's too big. Whoever that person is, Zhu Yangxing. Yep.
Listen, Allison, we just gotta have the Google voice say it. Whenever you're editing, just add in the Google voice.
But you know, it's funnier watching me struggle to say it.
I'd prefer to hear like a Texas speech. you know?
Yeah, I prefer to hear a Texas speech. That way we know exactly what it is. So we know the real history, not the Allison history.
I quit. Go get Groove Ribbon.
Allison is just creating her own history at this point.
She's just making it up as we go along.
Come on.
Welcome to the Poltergals, where all the history is made up and the hauntings are real.
We're rewriting history.
We're rewriting history.
Hey, no need to expose me like this. Well, you know it's the hauntings that are not real.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, you do let me do all the research.
That's
so.
true. So maybe she's just lying to us. You never know.
Somebody needs to fact check that.
I know.
Big
we're gonna need a fact checker now. Allison, I'm a little concerned.
Not very credible.
All right, we'll continue, Allison.
Yikes. Yikes. Anyways, the emperor.
Anyways.
In 1402. In order to solidify his power, the Shangju
That sounds right.
Empire moved the capital with all of his own army.
From Nanjing?
Sure. So somewhere in southern eastern China to Beijing.
Cool.
And began building a new heart of the empire, calling it the Forbidden City. And my phone keeps going off, and it's yikes.
Unprofessional.
Right?
This is one of the most unprofessional episodes of Poltergeist. Wow.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
There's just so much to cut now, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is all staying in.
Well, we'll see.
The establishment of the Qing dynasty in 1644 did not lessen the Forbidden City's pivotal status, as the Manchu imperial family continued to live and rule there.
Cool.
With no major change has been made since its completion, the precinct has undergone various renovations and minor constructions well into the 21st century. Since the Forbidden City is a ceremonial, ritual and living space, the architects who designed its layout followed the ideal cosmic order and...
Confucian ideology.
What is that?
It's
Maybe
like-
I should have Googled that.
Yeah, maybe you should have Googled that, Allison.
You should have really put the pronunciations like in like parentheses, like right after the words.
I think she did the best she could.
I try. Anyway, the Confucian ideology that held Chinese social structure together for centuries. This layout ensured that all activities within this micro city were conducted in an appropriate manner to the participants' social and family roles.
Nice.
All activities such as imperial court ceremonies or life cycle rituals would take place in a sophisticated palace depending on the event's characteristics. Similarly, can you tell my English?
Yeah, you're great. You're doing great.
Don't worry, I'm only a theater major.
Are you really?
I like the way that he clarified and was like, "Are you really?" Like he gave you a chance to say no.
Because I thought you were you majored in something else.
No, I do have a degree in theater.
An actual degree in
An
theater.
actual degree.
The best you would have.
So you would think I'd be better at reading and pronunciation, but
Yeah. What are you getting your
Yeet.
degree in?
I don't know if I'm going to college.
Wow, our intern's not even going to college.
No,
that's okay. That's why he works with us.
I really hope my parents don't see this and get mad. They're gonna be like, you need to go to college. Blah 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 blah.
They'll be fine. We're here to support you. Emotionally.
Dear
Not
Mari.
monetarily.
Maybe I'll
Mario.
just get a theater major. You know,
Yeah, just get a theater major.
You'll end up exactly where I am.
editing for Mike.
Editing for Mike.
Exactly. So
Similarly. Okay.
the court determined the occupants of the Forbidden City strictly according to their positions and their status.
Nice.
The architectural style also reflects a sense of hierarchy. Each structure was designed in accordance with the treaties on architecture methods or state building standards.
Cool.
Oh my God, why is there so much history?
I know. You put a lot of history on this one.
Yikes. Public and domestic spheres are
Ma'am.
clearly divided in the Forbidden City. The southern half, or the outer court, contains spectacular palace compounds of
Supra-human scale.
whatever.
Herman.
This
It says superhuman. I assume like superhuman, but probably
Supra-human scale. scale.
Sure.
Feels like popcorn reading all over again.
I know.
Yes.
When you pick on the person who can't read.
And it's like, your turn, go.
I'm sorry. At least I know mostly what I'm saying. I just don't read through it.
Oh, okay. This is why you need to read through it ahead of time. You do the research.
You see, I do the research ahead of time.
Oh.
Like right before the recording.
Oh, right before, like 20 minutes before. You come in blind every episode.
Thus creating the chaotic show that we have.
Yay! We love chaos.
Anyways, unfortunately, the Chinese don't like chaos. So they made the outer court belong to the realm of state affairs, and only men had access to its spaces.
Sexist.
I know.
Right? Men.
Men, disgusting. Could never.
It
Terrible.
included the emperors. I'm gonna keep going and ignore Mario's statement. I love you, Mario, but I don't even know where. Oh, included the emperor's formal reception halls, palaces for religion, rituals, and state ceremonies, and also the Meridian Gate, located at the south end of the central axis and served as the main entrance.
Cool.
While the outer court is reserved for men, the inner court is the domestic space dedicated to the imperial family. The inner court includes the palaces in the northern part of the Forbidden City. Here, 3 of the most important palaces align with the city's central axis. The Imperial's residence, known as the Palace of Heavenly Purity, is located at the south, while the Empress' residence,
The Palace of Earthly Tranquility.
I don't know why I was expecting the location to be right after, but instead of the actual name.
Yeah.
The Palace of Earthly Tranquility is to the north. The Hall of Celestial and
Terrestrial.
Union, a smaller square building for imperial weddings and family ceremonies, is sandwiched in between.
Okay, interesting. So it's like inside rings. So like the whole city's built in concentric circles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
It's like Ba Sing Se.
It's Ba Sing Se. It's the city of Ba Sing Se. Nobody talks about Ba Sing Se. Don't talk about Ba Sing Se.
What?
Don't worry about it, Allison. Don't talk about it.
I'm so confused now. You know what?
You need to get her to watch it.
Can we add in a clip?
Yeah.
Add in a clip here from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that. Have fun.
Allison! Okay, continue.
Although the Palace of Heavenly Purity was a grand palace building symbolizing the emperor's supreme status, it was too large for conducting private activities comfortably. Therefore, after the early 18th century, King Emperor Yongzheng some Chinese moved to his residence to the smaller...
We're going to get canceled.
We're canceled. This is the last episode of Poltergeist. Sorry,
The
guys.
finale.
This is our grand finale because we're getting canceled right now. As the more Allison speaks, the further we are getting canceled.
You prefer Chinese or Spanish?
I don't know. Both are terrible.
We thought we were gonna get canceled after the
That's
Spanish
true. We thought we were gonna
episode.
get canceled after that, or the Paris episode. Oh, I thought we were gonna get canceled after that one. Any foreign language show, we're going down.
I think those are the
Maybe
episodes
we
that
should
are
just
bringing
stick
us
to things in
up.
America. Oh, it's bringing us up. Production quality high.
Which is why we love everybody outside of the U.S.
Okay.
Because y'all are fantastic.
Y'all are fantastic.
Y'all are probably just laughing at us, and that's okay.
That's
but
fine. We've
more
accepted that.
So me, but because apparently Debbie can pronounce everything.
I don't know. I cannot. I just do better. I just wing it.
There was an attempt,
I just say it like I say it with my chest. So just say it confidently. Nobody would ever know.
That is me saying it confidently. My confidence level is at a low,
Oh, okay.
and that's for a reason.
Oh, fun. Okay, good, great.
So that way I have high expectations.
Oh,
for
I got
myself.
you. See, it's like a mind reverse psychology thing. Okay.
And how's that working for you?
Well,
This whole side tangent goes to show where it is.
mental health is very important. If you need, this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. This is why they won't sponsor us, Allison, is because you need to focus on your mental health.
Where you at, Dom? Where you at?
Okay, well, continue.
To a smaller mental
Asylum. No, I don't know.
civilization.
Oh,
not
there you go.
asylum,
Okay,
thank
okay,
you,
sorry.
ma'am. To the west of the main axis, the Palace of Heavenly Purity became a space for ceremonial use of all subsequent emperors resided to the Hall of Mental Civilization, not
Fancy.
health.
That's
Yes.
fancy.
Ma'am, over here.
I mean,
Eastern and western sides of the inner court, I'm going to keep going so Debbie can't say anything, was reserved for the retired emperor and empress. The Emperor Qianlong built his post-retirement palace, the Hall of Pleasant Longevity,
ooh, fancy.
in the northeast corner of the Forbidden City, and it is the last major construction to the Imperial Precinct. In addition to these palace compounds for the older generation, there are also structures for the imperial family's religious activities in the east and west sides of the inner court, such as Buddhist
And Taoist.
and Taoist temples built during the Ming Dynasty. The Munchas
That sounds right.
preserved most of these structures, but also added spaces for their own shamanic beliefs. Today, the Forbidden City is still changing as a modern museum and a historical site. The museum strikes a balance by maintaining the structures and restoring the interiors of the palace compounds, and in certain instances, transforming minor palace buildings and hallways into exhibit galleries for the extinguished whatever artwork in the imperial collections.
Cool.
For many, the Forbidden City is a time capsule for China's past and an educational institute for the public to learn and appreciate history and beauty and its ancient culture.
Wow.
That was amazing.
We made it through.
Yikes.
We did it. We got through the history, guys. Now you guys might have learned something, or maybe not. I don't know. It's time to get into the hauntings.
But first, a commercial break.
Oh, yeah, but first we gotta have a commercial break. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Spooky.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
Hi, this is Sarah,
And I'm Carter.
and this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and
vinyl.
So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Spooky.
Well, now we're back. Now that we're back, it's time to get into the hauntings. So now we learned about that wonderful history from Allison. Anyway, I'm going to do a basic rundown. So the Forbidden City has over 600 years of history, including assassinations, plottings behind it. So there's definitely no wonder it's also said to be occupied by several ghosts, of course. So one of the most famous Forbidden City ghost stories tells us about a weeping woman, of course, dressed in white. Allison! You gave me a spoiler.
I didn't realize it was this one.
It is this episode.
I thought it was another one.
Allison, will you please read your note for us and our guest today? Please read it out loud in your own tone of how you wrote it. Do it.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. Seriously? Why can't people wear something, anything that's not white? Ugh, I'm so done. There are so many other colors out there.
So as we were mentioning earlier, we do have a problem with the woman in white. But this is a weeping woman in white. So you know what?
I'm not sure one attribute makes a difference.
Oh, okay.
The Spanish version of the weeping woman, I'm not going to even, with the Spanish speaker sitting right there, I'm not
La
even going
Llorona?
to. Yeah.
I always thought it was a ladrona.
Ladrona.
La
La Llorona is how I was going to pronounce
That's how, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
You did good. I mean that was better than the, you know.
So, I guess it's just like a cultural thing to have weeping women in white.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. Everyone has a story of the weeping woman in white. But anyway, so there is a ghost story of the weeping woman dressed all in white. There's actually another one about flute music being heard during the dark hours of the night from the empty city. Or is it really even empty? And then Allison, please read your note again for us.
Obviously it's not. If you can hear music, man. And also you better head on out of there, because if it's happening during the dark hours of the night, that's creepy AF.
That's exactly what the note says. So great. So there's also one especially intriguing story about ghost dogs that have been seen running in the narrow corridors at the edges of the labyrinth that is the Forbidden City. Ghost stories about animals are always unusual and so intriguing. Allison has left us yet another note in my haunting section. Ma'am, would you please read it for us?
So sad. Poor puppies don't deserve all that. And I thought all puppies are supposed to go to puppy heaven.
It's true. I've seen the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven and All Dogs Got to Heaven too. There are 2 movies.
Do any dogs go to hell?
I don't know. I mean, there are some dogs that like bite people, but is that because of bad owners? So shouldn't the people that raise those dogs go to hell, not the dogs themselves? very ethical quandary.
Controversial.
It's a controversial quandary we've opened up here.
Oh no.
But anyway, poor puppies. It's also known that people can feel nervous or even have the feeling of being watched and or followed throughout the property. Allison, note please.
Thanks, but no thanks. I know I'm cute, but I don't need a stalker. Also, I'm so sorry, Debbie, because I know you're dead.
What does that even mean?
Because anytime you find anything remotely funny, you're like, I'm dead.
It's true. I do say that. I feel like we both have like catchphrases. Like I feel like I always say like, I'm dead. And then you always say, yikes. And oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Allison, I want you to do a compilation video of all the times you've said oh no and like make it into like a song. Like just like a compilation of you saying oh no. Can you help us with that?
I'm
Can
pretty
you go
sure
through our episodes?
that's doable, you know?
Yeah, okay, make a compilation video of Allison saying like oh no and like yikes and like all her little like sayings. I think that'd be so fun.
I claim all royalty.
I get royalties from it. But anyway, so yeah. So definitely is giving us Bossing Say vibes if you're feeling like you're being watched or definitely. Anyway, so here's a little haunted history from the Chinese culture. So ghosts are taken very seriously in the Chinese culture. According to the Chinese tradition, you should avoid ghosts at all costs. So superstition also lives wide and well in China. So they're a very superstitious culture. They believe in like all of that. Even Confucius once said, respect the ghosts and the gods, but keep them away. So yeah, thank you, Confucius. Very wise words, sir.
But I like the ghosties.
I mean, I guess so, but you don't want them like in you or I guess like around you, right?
Maybe I want them around me.
Okay.
Are you that lonely?
Allison's lonely.
That's
She
really
does live in a 3-bedroom house with no pets. It's just her and her husband. So sad, all alone.
Technically, we do have a pet. It's just not with.
Yeah, they just have a big empty house.
Is it dead?
No.
Oh.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost pet.
And our dog is at my mother-in-law's because one, our fences are too small. Otherwise, it'd jump the fence. 2, my mother-in-law is, I'm not going to have any protection if you take the dog away.
Oh, okay. I see.
Even though it's definitely our dog.
Give your mother a gun.
Yeah, that's the solution.
You know, we're in Texas.
You heard it here first.
Everybody can buy a gun, you know?
Just give your mom a gun. Yeah, why does your mom have a gun?
It's my mother-in-law.
Oh, why does your mother-in-law have a gun?
Because she's a... Never mind.
We're going off topic. Anyway, so again, ghosts are taken very seriously. Most of one of the most notable traditions is actually the 2 gatekeepers. So they're known for always standing on particularly every doorstep. So if you guys have noticed any like Chinese restaurant, you know, like there's 2 lions on both sides, those are the gatekeepers. So they're very common. So these 2 demons are guardians, and their job is actually to keep the evil spirits from entering through the doorway. So that's pretty cool. Also, all the doorways in the Forbidden City have high steps that you have to like carefully step over. Someone in like the group asked one of the guides, and they said they are there because ghosts can't jump and they'd be trapped inside the one room. Like, what? Like, I've never heard that ghosts can't jump. I know white people can't jump, but ghosts?
So, why is it okay to lock ghosties in a building, but it's not?
No, Allison, we're not going to lock disabled veterans in a building to trigger World War II ghosts.
That is terrible. No.
She wants to take World War II veterans and put them in a haunted location from World War II to see what experiences they
like
have.
the trenches and where was it? Where is it? France?
Like, it's because who's really the trigger object?
She thinks that
are
the people the
trigger objects, or are the ghosts
being triggered by the people from being the veterans?
The trigger objects, because there's only the World War II veterans that could.
We're not getting back into this.
So why can't they?
We're in China right now.
Save this for another episode.
Save this for another episode. We are in China right now.
So we can lock 13-year-olds in a house?
No, we can't lock teenagers either. That's literally kidnapping, Allison.
It's not kidnapping
if they
sound a voucher.
They have to sign you're going to make their parents sign a permission slip to let them be locked in a haunted building?
It'll be surrounded by the popo.
I don't think what are the police going to do to ghosts?
Shoot them?
Pew, pew, pew. Laser guns, man.
This is going off the rails. Anyway, so they say that ghosts can't jump, and so therefore the large step they wouldn't be able to make it into, so they'd be trapped in that previous room, so they wouldn't be able to get through the stairway. Ghosts have a remarkable status in the Chinese culture. So depending on the classification, there are actually 9 or 10 different types of ghosts in Chinese folklore, which I think is really cool. So that's pretty cool.
You're welcome.
The legend tells that the Forbidden City is cursed and has been since the day it was officially opened by its builder. The Ming Emperor Yongle in 1421 is known as the Evil Emperor. He actually slaughtered over 2,800 people in his harem, or harem? Harem? I say harem.
I say harem.
Harem. I think it's like tomato. When trying to suppress an alleged sex scandal in New Year's Eve when the official opening ceremonies were held. So, again, scandals. So in order to cover it up, he was like, I'm just going to murder 2,800 people. It's fine.
Yeah, like it's nothing, you know.
That's no big deal. It's okay. And it's like, I wonder why this place is haunted. Never know. And then a few years after that horrendous incident, there was actually a fire that ravaged the Forbidden City. It actually burned over 250 buildings to the ground, and it killed another couple of hundred people. So that's great. So despite the place being covered with Lucky Charms, it sure didn't prevent the destruction. So that's sad. Allison, do you have thoughts, feelings, emotions over there?
At some point, we need a Bluetooth my iPad in because I just figured something out.
What'd you figure out?
So if you highlight a word,
it will just say it?
Yeah.
Wow!
And you
Oh
click
my
on it
God!
And you hit translate, it'll say it in English.
Ghost.
Wow!
That's a word I don't know how to pronounce.
I don't know how to pronounce that either.
Maybe then we've been doing this all wrong.
Wow, the more we know. Just keep it up close to your mic. Kind of like how I did for the Guantanamo Bay.
Sorry. Since we were talking about that.
Anyway, so even though that it was covered in Lucky Charms, it could not prevent the destruction. The Emperor Yongle actually sank then into a depression, thinking that this was a punishment for the actions he did back in 1424. Which I mean is fair. Like, you probably should be punished for killing like 2,800 people. And you know what? If it's just burning down 250 buildings and killing more people, is that cosmic justice? I cannot say. I don't think so, but sure. Thanks for getting depressed, dude. Good job on you. That's fine. So thousands of people have perished inside the walls of the Forbidden City after that. So you think that this place is probably overpopulated by spirits. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I guess that's up for us to decide. I would say it is probably haunted. So yeah, that's a yes for me, dog.
I feel like it's like a.
If this was like the I press the buzzer. Wait, no, if you press the buzzer, that means they're out, right? But like X Factor, you get the 3 X's.
Yes.
So don't push the button.
Unless you get the golden buzzer.
Oh, I hit the golden buzzer. Yes, it is haunted.
I agree too.
Yeah. Okay. So most of the Forbidden City is also off limits to visitors. So the majority of the 720,000 square meters area remains closed to the public. Why exactly? Well, because it'd be too expensive to actually maintain all the sectors for visitors. Or maybe it's just because it's too dangerous and way too haunted. I guess we will never know. So what we do know, in fact, though, is that it is strictly prohibited to get inside the Forbidden City at night. They will always close the gates at exactly 5 p.m. sharp. That means if no 4:59, no 5:01, 5 o'clock. They shut those doors and no one is allowed in. And remember, there is those flute playing that happens after dark. So maybe there's a good reason they shut those gates. So that time is said to be the most mysterious, and that many scary phenomena actually begin to appear then.
So that's the perfect place to be locking people.
No, we're not locking people in. And then the last sentence in this, I'm not going to read because it's terrible. No, I will read it. Allison, this is the last sentence you left me off with. It says, doesn't that arouse your imagination or what?
And you're welcome.
You're welcome. But yeah, so that's some of the haunting, some of the ghosts, a little bit more about Chinese ghost culture, and about the dead. Again, this is a place for ceremony. Of course, has a good amount of deaths, I would say. So, yeah.
I think that's a bit of an understatement.
I think that's an understatement, but it's definitely haunted. So, yeah, that is the Forbidden City of Beijing, China. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Poltergals. Thank you for joining us on an episode of the Poltergals, being our Polter Pal.
Yeah, being a Polter Pal is the best.
How would you rate your experience? 1 out of 5 stars.
I'm not sure. Allison kind of brings the rate down with the pronunciation, so maybe about a good 3.5 out of 5.
I would say that's fair. 3.5.
You know it's definitely out of 5 because it makes this...
What out? She lost her train of thought.
I'll do you one good. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
You know it makes it better because you can make fun of me.
That's true.
You know that 4.5. Okay, there we go.
I opened myself up
4.5.
for it.
All right.
So.
Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Poltergals. Don't forget to follow us on social media at _Poltergals. And don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon, where you can hear our full-length episodes and all the random craziness we get up to afterwards at patreon.com/PolterPals. That's right. POLTERPALS. This is Debbie signing off.
Bye.
Bye. You gotta say bye. Bye. You gotta say bye.
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 And now, a word from our sponsors.
Spooky.